It's been more than a decade since the federal minimum wage has increased, and it has sure not kept up with the cost of living. Now, working families, especially workers of color, are battling a global pandemic with barely enough money to get by. So why, when 2/3 of Americans support raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, has it not budged? Well, follow the money. Corporations are doing the talking. Take Walmart and McDonald's. These huge corporations are among the top employers of Medicaid and food stamp beneficiaries. That means as their executives are making huge profits, those profits don't trickle down to the workers who are keeping those businesses running, and the government is left to help those workers stay afloat. It's corporate welfare. Raising the minimum wage would increase income for about 30 million people, and it would lift nearly 1 million people out of poverty. And the wage increase would boost income for people of color who make up a disproportionate share of low-wage workers. With higher wages, workers would earn more and have more money in their pockets to put back into the economy, lifting all boats. Here's the bottom line. Big business is not hurting during this pandemic. They're doing just fine. Working families are on the brink, and they've been struggling long before this pandemic. We have a chance to increase the minimum wage in this COVID relief package. It will help our country build back better, stronger, and more resilient. It's time to make it happen.
Nobody knows that people are being exploited until the people who are being exploited stand up and say enough is enough. So what you guys are doing are leading the effort. And I predict that in years to come, get a whole lot of people behind you, and they're going to thank you for the work you're doing today.
This has been, such a big priority for progressives for a decade, led by fast food workers across this country.
And I want to tell you something that you may not know, and I'm telling you the truth. The work that you have already done has had national significance.
$330 billion in wages will flow to workers over the next 10 years. 27 million workers will get a raise, and 1 million workers will be lifted out of poverty.
What you're doing is enormously important, not just for yourself. There are millions and millions of people today who are working low-wage, part-time jobs, can't raise a family, don't have dignity. And you're standing up for them as well.
In America, people should not be working 40 or 50 hours a week and living in poverty. We've got to raise that minimum wage, which has not been raised, unbelievably, since 2007.
We've got to get it across the finish line. It's got to stay in the bill all the way through the House and then into the Senate. This is a core, important issue and structural reform that will also persist past COVID. And Democrats have to fight for these progressive, bold ideas that are going to bring relief to people.